Hello and welcome to this video series where we're checking out submissions, the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam of 2023. And this time we will have a look at Poisoned Daggers by, not by Kirkwin, by lagdotcom, Sad Folks Interactive and zan-zan-zawa veia, or something like that. So, before we jump into the game, I will show you the page and the controls, which are... the instructions for the game are a bit more extensive this time. You can already see that I'm running the game in the browser here. Unfortunately, there's no version to download, and this is problematic in various ways, which I will talk about in a bit. First, let's have a look into the description. Created for Dungeoncrawler Gamejam 2023, lead your chosen party through the labyrinth halls of Nightjar, a fortress full of beasts, creatures, and machines, all playing thralls to the god Mulligan or something. Fight for the glory of your own goddess, Cheraphy, and prove your might by overcoming all odds that oppose you. Or maybe there's a different way. Features surreal art style with a limited palette, unique battle system featuring combat in 4 different directions. Foes stalk you from the shadows, challenge them before they overwhelm you. Not so hidden Sneak crawler maintenance room. No idea what that means. Items that absolutely don't work. We couldn't get them implemented in time. It's a great feature. Mostly working levers. Some are too rusty. Okay. Controls. Left click. Shift character marbles around in and out of battle. So I guess that this is your party in the bottom part. And each party member is in one of these marbles and you can move them around. Use commands from the lower left interface. That's this one. Select target for some skills. WASD QE is move around strafe, select actions during combat, and the arrow keys are basically doing the same. Control left right arrow key, rotate all character clockwise or counterclockwise. That's also interesting. Alt, left, right arrow key, shift character marbles around in and out of battle. I have no idea what this is then going to do. Shift, I mean, does that mean like the top character is being replaced by the right one or something like that? I'm not sure, we will see. Enter, interact with things in front of the current lead party member, which I guess is in this screenshot Kirkwin. Spacebar is toggle action lock display. Escape is cancel action. Alright. And I might just open this browser window again to put on the side so I can quickly refer to these controls again. Yeah, that's a bit more extensive than usually. Escape, cancel action. Alright, tips before playing. Actions in combat can be used once per round. Positions can be swapped as many times as SP will permit. Costs 1 SP, and this seems to be like your action points. Characters can use actions in combat as long as SP still remains. SP recharges as high as your spirit stat is at the start of each round. Spirits, okay. Skills do various things. Check the action log to see how they affect your team. Different crawlers have different... characters have different environmental actions. Enemies will only fight you in the arenas and special locations. Enemies that have fled or stalked you will attack all at once. Be ready. Credits. Coding by Paul lagdotcom Davis. Writing Jacob J. Ritz and zan-zan-zawa veia. Artist Jacob J. Ritz, inspired by Kylie Riley. And music is zan-zan-zawa veia. And the soundtrack is not just an external resource. This one actually has been created for the jam as well, which is very cool. Alright, so let's start the game, and in this case I will... so the problem with not being a client in this case, first problem is the volume, which I can't fine-tune in this case, so for the recording I have to adjust the volume as just the Chrome volume, and that's already down to 4 out of 100, so you see that if I increase or decrease it, it's by a huge margin. So I can't do anything in that case. I hope that the volume is fine as it is. The other problem is that whenever you have something like this, where you could in theory use arrow keys, then you're scrolling the whole page. So I'm not selecting the different characters here. I'm scrolling through the page. So I have to use WASD, otherwise I will, yeah, it will not work. Or I think it might work if I go full screen, but then I will not be able to read the text, because the text is using a very weird, you can probably already see it from there. It's kind of a pixel smear blur, which is fine if it's small. But as soon as it gets bigger, this blur will smear all over the place, and the text is not readable anymore, basically, or it's barely readable. So I will keep it like that for now and read through the texts of the different characters we need to select, I think, and put together for our party. And then I will probably switch to full screen and let's see how much text there will be in the game. But yeah, it's problematic here. I would have preferred a download client. So, Kirkwin. From birth, Kirkwin trained his body as weapon, studying under the most brutal martialist sects that were followed in Haringly and some that weren't. So it was to great surprise when Cherokee appointed Kirkwin as the leader of Haringly's guard. Protector of the weak, defender of the pathetic as he saw it. Zealotry never suited Kirkwin, and rather than play his role as a coward soldier sitting idly, abandons his post to join the assault of Nightjar. And in doing so vows to Cherokee and Mulligan both that they too will someday bleed and bow low. Then we've got Cleavesman Mogrick, the village headsman, a role instigated by Cherokee and chosen at random, considered a luckless man, not blamed for the 3 lives he's taken at his god's behest. Was previously a loyal soldier and pikeman at a time when his lord was just and interested in protecting the border villages, before the man's personality crumbled into role righteousness. Mogrick still has the scars, but none of the respect he earns. Of course, he volunteered to brave the Nightjar. His hand was the first to rise. Far Scout. Tam. The surest bow in Haringly, favoring high cliffs above the treetops. She's a very fine huntress who's found that her place in the village of her birth has become slowly less secure. Tam worships only as far as socially necessary, excusing herself more and more from the mania overtaking the populace. Still, that does leave more time to practice her woodscraft, her acrobacy, and her deadly aim, sensing the opportunity for change in the exposition to the Nightjar. She signs up explaining that she already knows the best route over the river. That sounds helpful. Warcaller Silas. Silas considers himself duty bound to the goddess Cherokee and exalts her name without second thoughts. Blessed with unique conviction, his charmed suity in combat has increased even since his pit fighting days. Okay. He now sees fit to call himself Night Enforcer and claim the ancient war-calling title from the old times. From before the wars made sense, suspecting mischief and irreverence in the party that ventures to the Nightjar. He stubbornly joins, vowing to hold high the goddess name. Yes, he is a nasty piece of work, but his arrogance serves to draw your enemy's ire away from your friends. Then we've got the Flag Slinger. A singer, not slinger. Okay, Balsam, a traveling auteur stranded in Haringly, their stagecoach impounded under the most arbitrary of Cherokee laws. Before that, a bard, and before that, a wanted street thief. Now reformed as an entertainer, their reflexes remain true. Balsam has the instinct and the presence of mind needed to seize up a dangerous situation, the savior required to navigate it without incident, and the compassion that also steers those around them to safety. Balsam doesn't know how vital their skills of performance, of misdirection, and of psychic intuition will be inside the Fortress Nightjar. But this isn't exactly the first time they've performed without rehearsal. And the last one is the Loomseer, Chitari. Chitari is a beetle-like humanoid who observes human activity from safety. Where the river meets the wood, sad at the many recent upheavals and harrowing culture, Chitari reveals her existence to the dumbfounded villagers and furthermore offers them magical assistance in their trip to the Nightjar, secretly planning to defame the goddess Cherokee, thereby salvaging the lives of the people. Able to call the magic dwelling deep within the earth, Chitari is a canny healer and is also able to bestow curious magical toughness to her quick new friends, even if she doesn't share their cause. Alright, so who are we going to take? I think Soldier and Pikeman, we will take this guy. And I need to press enter, not space. Then we will take the... let's take this Kirkwin as well. The Far Scout and the Loomseer. Alright. Space to begin. And here we are. Alright. And now I will try and switch to full screen and we will see if that's still looking okay-ish. Alright. Let's try it that way. As long as it's just single words, it's fine. But as soon as there are like bigger texts and I need to read whole sentences, it might be a bit more problematic. So, oh, and one other thing, 1 second. Alright, just because the controls seem to be a bit more complex, I put that on a different spot here on my screen so that I can have a quick look without switching around all the time. So, now maybe we want to switch the characters around a bit. So as far as I understand, these are more or less tanks. This might be the fighter tank. This I think is a mage. Okay, so we always switch the top one and the back one. Ah no, we always switch with the one which is on top. Okay. And with control and arrows we can rotate them. And with okay. And that killed the game. Alright, 1 second. Alright, so I picked the team again and we are back in the game. But okay, so I should probably not use the Alt keys, and this is probably also because of some conflict with normal browser commands and stuff like that. So, but we can click on characters and we can use the control. That worked fine. So let's stick to that. And have a look at the different things the characters can do. So, a Mogric can use cut, smash, temper, and shift. Kirkwin can use smash, temper, shift, and cut, which is exactly the same, just in a different order. Okay. Temper, shift, cut, smash. Actually, it's all the same. Okay. We clarified that then. So, there's an arrow thing but apparently that's not doing anything. It's too late to turn back now. The gods are watching. This is what we can also open with space, which is a combat lock. So, again, left click, shift characters, marbles around, we did that. Use commands from the lower left, okay. We can't use any commands at the moment. I didn't want to do that. Okay, let's move. So, instant... Ah, okay, so the thing here is actually the mini-map. Alright. So the perspective, I mean, it's perfect. Because... okay, so... Basically, we are not... we are not turning, but we are switching to a different group member who looks into a different direction. So if we also wanted to switch, we also would need to press Control so that Mogric no, I'm not sure if Mogric is now the one who's in the front of the team. I mean, he's the highlighted character. Probably Chitauri is now in the front of the team. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, the controls are perfect. The visuals are... the perspective is perfect. Having a minimap is great. And... ah, there's a door. And yeah, the art is also, well, at least unique. I mean, depending on how much you like this art style, I think that maybe the... I mean, you will probably also see some smoothing by YouTube, I guess. But I find it mostly problematic with the letters, with the scaling. I think that's something which could probably have been avoided by making the font more clear in the original and not have this white shadowy thing around that. But overall, I think the art is quite nice. So, okay, there's a gate, and I guess this is where we are coming from. It's too late to turn back now. Okay, so let's go back to the... Actually, it's pretty cool here that this is not just a square, but it's behind this, I don't know, root or tentacle thing or whatever that is. So we have to go in that door. There's a spider web. I just hope that the game is not crashing now. This is a window. A door. And another door. Let's go there. What's that? We can use spacebar to toggle action, and enter is interact with things in front of you. The box contains a hair shirt. A hair shirt. But do we have an inventory? I don't think it mentioned it anywhere, so I don't know if we have an inventory anywhere. Probably not. Probably this is just for maybe some other... Oh, there's an enemy. Oh, you were unable to react in time. The Eve Scout slips into the darkness. Ah. A large boulder blocks your path. Yeah, maybe for the text block, it could have been put somewhere less intrusive on the screen. I mean, the text is huge to stay readable, but I also don't think that you need to see, like, maybe in combat it becomes relevant to see the last 20 lines or so. What's that? Ah. The sound of clanking metal is heard in the distance. Mm-hmm. Huge web blocks your path. Can we cut it? Yes. Mognik cuts the webs away. The box contains a prying pole axe. Yeah, but I don't have an inventory, right? I mean, the game was stating like it has items which are pointless, so maybe they are pointless. That not just some items are pointless, but all items are pointless. The box contains a liquor. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for that. Ah, so we opened the gate. Now we can continue. The faint echo of Malanganan's laughter never reverberates through the tunnels. I'm just realizing I'm blocking the last thing. 1 second. Alright, I think that's better. Okay. Oh. The gate to the arena slams behind you. The gods cheer for blood. Yay. Oh. The forces of Mulanginan rally around you. Chitari has 4 spell points, or 4, I don't know, spirit points or something. Observe. Let's observe our enemy. Eve Scout has nowhere to hide. Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess that was our turn. Chitari... What? Yeah, okay. Now it becomes useful to have all the stuff there. So Eve Scout uses Sand. Chitari loses 1 determination. Eve Scout uses Attack. Chitari takes 9 damage. Nettle Sage uses Bravery. Nettle Sage uses Attack. Mognik takes 8 damage. Mulagnian Martialist uses Parry. Nettle Sage uses Lash. Morgan takes 3 damage. Morgan feels temporarily demoralized. Malignant Martialist uses Attack. Tem takes 2 damage. Ooh. Okay. So, can I actually turn around now? Okay. Yeah, so we could have... I should not have ended the turn, because we need to switch through all characters first. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what that is. Attack. Nettle Sage takes 7 damage. Okay. And we do another bash. Takes 3 damage. And we can only do an attack once. Any action once. So now we switch to Shitari. And let's cast a Bless. Choose target. I'm not sure how I choose a target. I think it was just clicking on stuff. Yeah, bless yourself. Ah, bless is heal. Okay. Attack. 5 damage. And but now A and D are not working, and we need to use the arrow keys to switch through the characters. Kirkwin can't do anything here. Tam can use an attack, but I would like to see like character stats or so, because right now I have no idea what these what attack is best to use and so on. Should we blind? Maybe. Mulligan Martialist is bound tightly. We still have 2 actions. Okay. Tam takes 8 damage. Why should she take 8 damage? Because he countered. Okay, that was not very healthy. And I think with that we did everything except of this dude. So now we would need to swap positions. Does he use points or... Yeah, so he used 1 point and swapped with Shitari. And he has a duo step. We didn't see that with the others. They have... Yeah. So let's do the duo step. Eve Scout takes 4 damage. And that's it. End turn. Kirkwin has 3 points. Yeah, let's just duo step again. The scout dies. Okay, nice. Now Mogric. That's also our melee, right? I'm not quite sure what Brace is supposed to do. Uses Brace. Maybe that's for a counterattack or something. Shitari uses a Bless, and we use that on Tam. She cannot attack anything, right? No valid targets, exactly. And Tam, that's the hunter or whatever. Let's shoot an arrow. Nettle Sage takes 5 damage. And attack takes 4 damage. Okay. Music gets a bit chaotic. End turn. Kirkwin dies. That's probably not good. Shitari. Can we heal him even though he's dead? No, we can't. Okay. Yeah, Shitari can't do anything. Mogric. How did Kirkwin actually die? Because there's no enemy there. Mulanian Martialist uses flight. Attack. Nettle Sage dies. Okay. Arrow. No valid targets. Why no valid targets? Attack. Takes 5 damage. Why can't I shoot an arrow there? No idea. Maybe we should switch them around. And end turn. Uses parry. Margaret takes 4 damage. Okay. Attack. Counters. Bash. You have vanquished your foes. Yeah, but I'm also pretty much chose. I'm not sure if I can actually... If this is basically game over now because I lost one character. Okay. But this was also very sudden. Like, the damage of the enemies is pretty extreme. I mean, this was a tank or warrior or whatever. The gates slide open. The gods are... no, the box contains ganglia or something. Life do. How foes stalk you from the shadows. Items that absolutely don't work. That's really a shame. Okay. So this is a safe haven for now. A martialist is propped against the wall. He seems to not care about your intrusion. And if we just go away, can we actually use spells? No. Yeah, this is also yeah, something which I often dislike in games, when you have healing spells which you can only use during combat but not outside of combat, basically forcing you to let some enemy alive to heal up your party. This seems to have that as well. Usually you would want to use Shitari now to heal up the party, but apparently I don't have access to the spells at this point. So, let's cut the enemy. Temper. Actually, I can't do anything there. Okay. So it's just a random enemy which doesn't do anything. I hope that he's not going to backstab me. Okay. Scout slips into the darkness. You are unable to react in time. What was that? A duo of sneak crawlers are merrily digging through the tunnels, screeching past with reckless abandon. We found some liquor. In the Hall of a Dozen Prongs, a wizened soul seeks the southern oddity and sees through its facade. What? If you say so. Marshal is overseeing tunnel construction. Meet your eye, then slip into shadow. The box contains holy dew, life dew, and liquor. Okay. So we explored that area and there's pretty much nothing. He doesn't care. Okay. Nettle Sage fits off down the hall as you approach. The box contains live dew. You also have to interact with these boxes from the right direction. Now that's a bit unnecessary. I have the feeling that the next combat will kill us, so maybe we should try to avoid that as long as possible. Fools need not look left nor right. Fools should simply charge ahead should they wish to live. Tam loses 1 camaraderie. I have no idea what this is supposed to do. What is this? The sound of clanking metal is heard in the distance. A guide to fools. If you are reading this, you have straight fool. If you are not reading this, congratulations. Oh, enlightened one. A duo of sneak crawlers are merrily digging through the tunnels, screeching past with reckless abandon. Why are we... This is an illusion wall. And I did... How did I see that? The box contains... Okay. Tom can't decipher it. The box contains a ration. A whole lot of boxes. A rock ring. The busy sneak crawler takes notice of you, bleeping loudly before burrowing away. The box contains a ration. Okay, so this was just a treasure thing. Nothing important. And we lost camaraderie. So the dungeon seems to be rather extensive. And there's another enemy, and I don't want to fight enemies. 3 paces forwards, but how many sideways? Let's go into the other direction. Okay. Let's go to this dude then. He slips into the darkness. I'm not sure what this 9 was supposed to indicate. This icon in the middle, in the bottom. Sneed Crawler Maintenance Closet. Uh-huh. Okay, this seems to be a bit bigger. Mm-hmm. Marshal is overseeing tunnel construction. Meet your eye, then slip into shadow. Okay, so we can use this corridor here. There's an enemy, which will also probably vanish into darkness again. I mean, we have a tracker person, so why don't we... How would you be able to track them if... A set of eyes pass through the shadows, followed by the sound of rustling leaves. Yeah, the same snake stuff again. There are not a lot of there's not a lot of combat here, which is fine with me. But I mean, it sounded like the core feature is around that combat stuff. So we, by the way, we can also sidestep. I don't see anything to open the gate. Maybe that's here somewhere. Scout slips into the darkness. I don't see how we will survive that if they indeed now show up all up at the same time, like 10 scouts or something. And how did I know that there's a secret passage? Did I just... Okay. Anyways, there's a secret passage. And there's another secret passage. Which doesn't help us. Okay, so there was this closed door, which we can't open. Okay. So this is also pretty empty. I don't see how we... Maybe one of these pillars has something to use. But I don't see any objects here. No. No idea. There are also not further secret passages here. Okay, maybe this was just this maintenance thing. There's another door which we can't open. Okay. Nothing. Beeping loudly before burrowing away. Marshal is overseeing tunnel construction. Meet your eye, then slip into shadow. Okay. A nettle sedge fits off down the hall as you approach. Sound of clanking metal is heard. This one we can't use. Scout slips into darkness. The gate to the arena slams behind you. The gods cheer for blood. Oh god. Okay, yeah, now we are definitely dead. You can see on the map already how dead we are. So... he is already dead. Attack. Bash. Eve Scout dies. Well, that's a decent start. Now we can use the Bless. The heal seems to be rather pointless if we're just healing for 5 points and he gets like, I don't know, 20 damage or something. Okay, next one. Arrow takes 7 damage. Sneak Crawler takes 1, okay. And turn. Let's see if we survive this turn. Bravery, bravery. So they are using parry, and I think that means that they will counter attack. But the issue with a combat like that, and I think that's also one reason why it's not really done much, is that the overview, if you have like enemies all around you, it's very hard to get an overview about who has what stuff active. I mean, you could display like icons at every enemy, but in that case, the resolution of this game would not allow it. At least not in any visible way. And how do you counter an arrow? Maybe he threw it back at us. But Tam is almost dead. Alright. Let's use a Mognik attack. And counters. Yeah, we are basically killing ourselves now, but I don't see any other Bless. Attack. Ignores the blow. Yeah, that was not a very successful turn. But pretty much as expected. I mean, we will die now. Tam dies. Mognik dies. Okay. We can't... okay. That's clever. Okay. So, if we only have one character left, we don't even need to select a target for that character anymore. Which, for example, all these RPG Maker games, well, maybe not all of them, but you would still need to select that one character and so on, and that's cool that this is automatically. I mean, it's just a convenience thing, but still. And we will now conveniently die. I'm actually not sure if we can be attacked by everyone or just from this one direction. Does she get new mana? Ignores the blow. Bless. Her carapace smashed to pieces. She found herself slipping into a place of inward calm. It had been an ordeal to maintain her friendships with her human companions. Now she was glad for it to be over. Chitauri dispassionately transmitted her final verdicts to her many hive sisters, gladdened by glimpses of the nightjar's primitive insects that quickly surrounded her body as she expired. Oh, it's interesting that there's a special text for that character. Maybe we also get text for other characters? No. Okay. Well, that was an interesting experience. I think that could be quite... So I saw a lot of ideas which... let me just pick random characters here and start the game again. Lots of interesting ideas which maybe you need to like have multiple fights or more instructions or anything like that, so that you can really see how this is working in the full environment with multiple battles where you go for the strengths of your characters and the weaknesses of your enemies and so on. Like, first up, we would need to see what our characters are actually doing. I mean, like in inventory, like, what's the damage range of the attacks? What does, I don't know, there was one action like challenge or something. What does this actually do? Embrace. Yeah, embrace. What does that mean? Like, do I counter attack? Do I parry? It negates an attack or something like that. Can this party be attacked by everyone here? Not can Kirkwin be attacked only from this one side, or will they attack everyone from everywhere, for example? There are some things which would need more explanation, and probably in a like more, let's call it, sophisticated game environment, you would likely get that. But the idea of having these 4 characters and like having your party looking into different direction, I think that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's actually feasible with the graphic styles which was chosen for this project, because it's extremely minimalistic, and to get a better overview you would need to have like tooltips or little icons on the enemies. Let's say that some enemy here starts parrying or something, then you would need to have an icon that this enemy is now parrying, so that this character would not attack that, or let's call it counter-attacking, that this character is not attacking that enemy so that he will not get the attack back or something like that. So you would need to do a lot with the interface. I'm not sure the resolution they chose for this project would be good for doing so. So yeah, it's a lot like missing information, but I see like lots of also potential what you could do here, like yeah, I mean the overall idea of the combat and the 4 directions is nice. Yeah, as I mentioned, the navigation and the perspective is perfect. I like that there's a completely own visual style for the game. Everything made for the game, and it looks fine. Well, it's a matter of taste, right? It's very rough. I'm not sure what, I think they called it unique palette or something. I don't find it. Surreal art style with a limited palette. I'm not sure what this palette is. Maybe it's... I don't think it's Commodore 64. And it's not EGA, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a unique art style, definitely. Maybe not the prettiest one, but nevertheless, I mean, it should probably have this nefarious atmosphere, which it does. The game has a great soundscape. Also, we had we don't have like sound effects for the steps, right? But it's also in this case not really necessary. Like I think with smooth movement it's more important because that here is more abstract anyways. I think with combat we had some sound effects, and I think we also had sound effects for the clanking of the lever, right? They are struck down. Okay. Like if we use that, there are sound effects for that. So the soundscape is also great. I am not sure regarding the theme implementation, the duality. I guess you can say that this the palette is basically black and white, just that it's not white but red and different shades of red, and there's this duality, or the duality between the two gods, and I think maybe this is depicted by these dudes here. There's maybe like an elephant snake god, and what's that, a cat or a lion, a human angel or something. It's also nice. So yeah, so on art, in terms of art and in sound, it's great. The game is really lacking what basically the time restraints. Yeah, if there weren't time restraints, I think that this could have been a really cool game with more, like, we find all the items which are good for nothing. But if these were all fleshed out and they had time to implement a proper inventory and maybe fine-tune the combat, that would be a really interesting game to play. So that was Poisoned Daggers by lagdotcom, Sad Folks Interactive, zan-zan-zawa, veia. And yeah, in this case, it might also be very interesting to keep an eye on the game and any post-jam updates if they put additional stuff into the game. You can find a link down in the video description for all the jam entries, and there you can also search for the game and check if there has been any updates with maybe additional content and stuff. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time when we're checking out the next game of the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam 2023. Thank you, and until next time, bye bye.